Hearn was sitting with AJ, Frank Warren was sitting with Dubois, and Daniel just gave it, let's get it on, let's do it now. Let's have a bit of a rumble now. And AJ really took exception to that. Was that staged, or did Daniel really mean it by getting right in his face?
No, nothing is staged. I mean, look, I've watched that piece a few times to actually make sense of it. I think AJ instigated it initially, then Daniel, that was a reaction from Daniel when Daniel said, let's do it now. Something prompted him to do that. Okay, AJ is claiming that, how dare you call me out? Don't disrespect me. How is calling somebody out disrespecting them? So if you watch the video carefully, yeah, that's what drew Daniel to say, let's do it now. Because otherwise it doesn't make sense for him to have said, let's do it now. Because AJ prompted him to do that. AJ feels that Daniel has disrespected him. It's the norm in boxing is to call people out. So what he was alluding to is, as soon as Daniel finished the fight in Riyadh, he had won. They gave the microphone to Daniel whilst he was still in the ring and said, what's next? He said, well, AJ is here. AJ, let's do it. And before the fight, it was supposed to be the winner out of Daniel Dubois and Philip Hrgović will fight AJ. So the young man didn't do anything wrong by calling him out. So AJ took that as disrespect.
Okay, those are the words of Don Charles, and he claims that Daniel did absolutely nothing wrong with what he said and how he called him out. He said, well, how can you get or someone be disrespectful by just simply calling them out? Well, that was more than a call out, and I think what Don is trying to do, he's trying to tie in what Daniel did after he beat Philip Hrgović into what happened at the sit down between Daniel and Joshua. No, Joshua said, we know what Joshua said. Joshua said, without, besides it being him and besides this and that, I'm just ready to fight. Daniel then took it upon himself to say, well, hey, if he wants to throw, we can go right now. You know what I mean? Did AJ overreact? Yeah, he did. But did Daniel overreact? Of course he did. So if you look at both of these guys, okay, just looking at what was said and how people responded and how people counter-responded and acted and reacted and all this other stuff. Well, if you see what Daniel did, well, hey, if he wants to swing, we can go right now. We can go right now. Now, here's the thing. Did AJ have to take it that way? No. But did Daniel have to take it to that standard? No. Because you're going to fight anyway. That's what you're sitting down about. You've already signed the contracts. You've already made it known. You're doing the promotion. Turki Al-Sheikh has probably thrown that money into escrow for both of you guys to get it on. So the IBF is behind it. So it's a world title shot now. Okay, so it's going to happen. It happens. It's happening. So there's no need for Daniel Dubois to say, hey, well, if you swing, we can go right now. There's no need to take it there when no one took it there. Period. Okay? So is it Daniel's fault? Yes. Is it Joshua's fault? Yes. Because none of these guys had to get their ego in the way. This fight is going to happen anyway. Right? See, when you have someone like Daniel Dubois, overzealous, ready to prove a point, you know what I mean? And he was basically, I think this is what it was. Daniel Dubois was making a statement like, hey, if you want to swing, we can go right now. Like, yeah, okay, that's unnecessary shit talk because the fight's going to happen anyway. And one of you guys are going to sleep. Okay. You know what I mean? But for him to say, hey, man, if you want to do it, we can do it right now. All that is ego. And in Joshua, that's ego. All these guys were talking from their egos. That's all that is. Hey, shut up. I'll slap you with the chair and all that shit. You don't need to slap anybody with the damn chair because he said he's ready to fight right now. You know what I mean? And Daniel Dubois saying, hey, I'm ready to fight right now if he swings on me. Like, okay, why would you say he was going to swing on you? You know damn well he wasn't. You're making and creating a situation, right? Or you're creating a scenario when this could happen. If he does this, I'll do this. Well, of course, if he swings at you, you're going to swing back. You're fighters. It's by reflex, for Christ's sake. Right? So, yeah, that would happen. That doesn't mean you have to create the scenario for it to happen, because it didn't happen. You're just making up shit. You know what I mean? Since we're making up stuff, if he did that, I would do this. There was no need of that, though, at all, because that didn't happen. You know what I mean? But AJ didn't make it any better with his own ego, saying, well, I'll slap you with a chair. Okay, well, wait a minute. You know what I mean? But the calling out part had nothing to do with that. So I think Don Charles is trying to tie in some shit because he knows what Daniel Dubois, his fighter, said was totally unnecessary. Okay? I think it's just both some unnecessary bullshit, and I think it just makes both of these guys' bloods bubble a little more, that makes them more hype and amped when they do go in there. So I love it because of that. But the overall shit talk by itself, it's really worthless. Right? In its entirety. If it doesn't go to other means, if it doesn't make the fight any better, then it's worthless. It's no really need of it. But you guys tell me what you think of Don Charles on Talk Sports, stating that AJ got mad because Daniel Dubois simply called him out, and it's all AJ's fault, according to Don Charles. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunching. Peace.